If you keep measuring your life with someone else's scoreboard, you'll call yourself a failure, even while you're growing. There's a feeling a lot of people don't talk about honestly. You're doing your thing, then you look around and suddenly it feels like everyone is ahead of you. More money, more motion, more wins. And now your progress feels small just because it isn't as loud as theirs. I felt that recently. I was bored, scrolling, watching people win online. And for a minute, I got discouraged. I started thinking, am I late? Am I missing something? Then I caught myself. Comparison plays a dirty game. It shows you the results, but not the years behind them. The confidence, but not the private doubt. The success, but not the failed attempts that built it. So you end up comparing their polished highlight reel to your behind-the-scenes life. Of course, that makes you feel like you're losing. The math is rigged. And that's usually where self-blame starts. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. Or maybe I'm just lazy. But the truth is, it's not even that. Most people aren't lazy. No, they're just lost. And when you're lost, everything feels heavier than it should. Simple choices feel complicated. Small tasks feel like mountains. You sit down to work and your brain feels noisy before you even begin. You're active, but not clear. Busy, but not moving. That's not always laziness. A lot of times, that's misalignment. You're spending real energy in the wrong direction. Trying to copy people you were never meant to copy. Trying to force a lifestyle that looks good online but feels wrong in your hands. Ignoring what you're actually good at because someone else's lane looks faster. That's how people burn out and still feel stuck. And it's the same pattern we've been talking about. Feeding drains you don't even like, or quitting the moment it gets boring. And this is where it gets real. Life keeps sending clues. Comparison just keeps drowning them out. Pay attention and you'll start seeing it. What drains you every single time? What actually sharpens you when you stick with it? What only feels like momentum? And what's real momentum? That's data, not motivational fluff. Data. But most people ignore it because real progress is usually quiet at first. No crowd, no applause, no big moment. Just reps. Just consistency. And better decisions repeated longer than your feelings could handle. So if you feel behind right now, do this. First, stop monitoring everybody for a bit. Not forever, just long enough to hear your own mind again. Second, stop grading yourself by intention. Grade yourself by pattern. What do you actually do when nobody is watching? That will tell you way more than what you plan to do. Third, pick one lane and stay there long enough to feel some friction. Because that's where the real work starts. A lot of people quit right when it gets boring and call it, this isn't for me. But sometimes it's not the wrong path. Sometimes it's just you hitting the part where discipline starts. Fourth, change your scoreboard. If your scoreboard is attention, speed, and comparison, you'll always feel late. But if your scoreboard is consistency, clarity, and peace, you'll finally start seeing real progress even before results show up publicly. And look, I'm not saying this from a perfect place. I know that pressure. That pressure that whispers, I should be further by now. The mental noise. The random discouragement that shows up after you've been scrolling too long. I know it. But I also know what happens when you stop looking sideways all day. Your focus comes back, your pace settles, and your confidence stops depending on other people's timelines. Nothing magical happened. You just stopped leaking energy into comparisons that were never fair in the first place. So no, you're not failing. You're not too late. And you're definitely not finished. You're at a decision point. Keep performing for someone else's timeline, or build your own path, one honest day at a time. One keeps you anxious, the other makes you dangerous. If you feel lost, don't panic. Being lost isn't the end. It's information. It means you need direction, not shame. Alignment, not imitation. You don't need to become a copy of someone else's life. You need to become consistent with your own. So make one clean move today. Pick one lane. Commit to it. And stop calling yourself behind when you haven't fully backed yourself yet. No applause required. If you made it this far, respect. Donkey's Daily is where we face what's real and grow from it. Subscribe if you're building the same kind of life.